Have you found yourself in a position where you are always being told by your CEO or your managing director, or maybe the executive leadership of your organization, that you are just in HR busy and yet your business is not bringing anything to the bottom line in terms of profit and loss? Or are you a leader in an organization and you find out that your decisions are not really driving impact to the bottom line? Well, don't despair. This class is for you. Many times people are being told, especially human resource professionals, that they do not have any idea how to run the business, because basically people think human resource is all about hire and fire and administrative purpose only. But today I'm going to show you how you can drive activity as a human resource professional or a business leader to make impact in your organization. Now, let's first of all analyze the HR activity trap. Busy equals to impactful. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, how can I make sure I convert all the activities of being a human resource practitioner into the bottom line? I mean, interpret it to the business where you are seen as someone adding value. I mean, let's talk about the constant firefighting, the endless administrative cycles you have to battle, and then the fact that sometimes human resource professionals are sad because they do not have any strategic seat amongst the executive leadership because they're interpreted as people that don't really bring monetary value. Or is it the motions that go on from morning to night, day in and day out, motion without progress? Now, what HR impact really means, from activity translating into impact. Now, HR must connect work to business outcomes. And what are we talking about exactly here? The input. What are those things you impute into the business as a human resource practitioner? Of course, we have the generalist, we have the talent managers, we have the learning and development, we have the recruitment, we have the compensation and benefits, we have the payroll. So, whatever activity you're usually involved in as a HR practitioner or a business leader, you have to also focus on the output, because the output, the quality of the output leads to the income, and then at the end of the day drives impact positively or negatively. Now, impact has to be measured, and you have to be, as a human resource practitioner, able to interpret on the business level measurable business value based on the impact that you provide to your industry or organization. Now, we're talking about revenue support in dollars, pounds, naira, kobo, or whatever currency it is your client is in. And we're talking about cost efficiency. Yes, how can you help your organization to manage its cost value? And then when we talk about talent retention, not just the hire or fire, but being able to retain the right kind of talent and recruit the right quality of talent that boosts the bottom line positively. And then we talk about productivity and growth of the organization and employees as a whole. Now, why does it seem like HR lacks impact? We're going to be looking at the five gaps. The real problem isn't the workload or the high amount of activity. The real problem is business alignment. Now, HR is busy because it is misaligned, not because it is ineffective. So you need to sit back and ask yourself, as a practitioner in human resources, am I just busy without being aligned to the business? Because if you're busy and not aligned to the business, your business will not be able to drive the right kind of impact. Now, no business, HR gap, So the things we're looking at here is no business alignment, too much administrative tasks that don't add value, not being able to interpret data and metrics for the business based on your activity, and reactive mindset instead of proactive mindset. Of course, we also look at what we call the weak influence value, which sometimes makes HR people not have a table at the strategic seat. So this HR gap model are the things you need to critically analyze if you feel in your organization it appears like you're not really valued for what you bring to the table, or it appears like your job as a human resource practitioner is not adding value to the bottom line. And when I mean value, I'm talking about revenue growth, I'm talking about uh, talent retention, cost efficiency, etc., etc. Now, you have to first of all start with what we call a mind shift, shifting from just mere activity to being impactful HR. And what high impact HR does differently is what we're looking at right now. Now, impact comes from focus, it comes from alignment, and it comes from intentional design. Alignment with the business is what I mean. Now, a busy HR, on one hand, has so many administrative tasks, is burdened with it, is highly reactive, and of course, is focused only on tasks, as against the impactful and business driven HR who is strategy driven, who is proactive, and who is also outcome focused. So, today, ending this class, you need to shift from being just a busy human resource practitioner or leader to an impactful HR leader, meaning you have to focus on your strategy, you have to be more strategy inclined, you have to be more proactive, because these things actually add to the bottom line. And of course, remember that your activity shouldn't just be focused on tasks alone, but focus on tasks that have outcomes that are focused on driving the business and increasing the revenue. So we come to the end of today's class, and if you gain value, please don't forget to subscribe to gain more leadership tips, human resource tips, and things that will help you move your HR game to the next level. See you in the next video.